How many times have you watched a video or a television show or a movie and wanted to know what that person was wearing? Show of hands. Okay, a couple people. Well, the most popular example of this is Jennifer Aniston's sweater, right? Everybody wanted to know what Jennifer Aniston's sweater was on Friends. For me, Jennifer Aniston was Napoleon Dynamite. I always wanted to know where Napoleon Dynamite got his cool t-shirts. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to talk about how I built Clickable TV pretty much on a lean basis. And when I say lean, I really mean lean, no money. The way that the company got started, though, was actually in a very bloated manner. Does anybody know what a Goldberg machine is? Rube Goldberg machine. Okay, a couple people. So a Goldberg machine is the most ridiculous way you could possibly do something. And so I made a video based on the most ridiculous way that somebody would get a candy bar. And so what happens is we had this guy, it was me actually, press a button on a remote control which opened up a DVD tray, which pushed a toy truck down a ramp, which hit a skateboard, which launched a rubber band, which hit a toy chicken, which knocked over some shampoo bottles, which knocked over some books, which hit a button on a vacuum cleaner, which ended up sucking a boot up, which kicked over a tube, which launched a candy bar into my hand. And so that was really convoluted. But what happened was the Toy Industry Association contacted me and said, hey, too bad we don't know what toys they were in that video. And so it got me thinking. And so I was the viral video producer at the time at this PR firm, and I would get all these inquiries, people sending me an email saying, hey, I just saw this video yesterday, and it got 1,000 views overnight. You should check it out. And I would get all these emails every day, and so I'd have to watch these videos. And if you think about your day in front of your computer, you probably have Facebook open, Google, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have 12 browser windows open, 10 applications open, and then somebody says, hey, watch my video. And oh my God, I can't do anything else. I have to watch your video. I can't do anything else. I can't multitask. And I found that extremely, extremely, extremely painful. So take that along with that we all like to click, don't we? We all like to click. We click on words. We click on images. We even click on cows. There's a publicly traded company out there that monetizes your clicks. We like to click, right? Right? We like to click. So take these three ideas, that we want information, that we have ADD, and that we like to click, and you come up with the basis of an idea for clickable TV, right? The ability to click on videos. Great idea, but I was scared. I had I was the viral video maker at a PR firm. What a great job. I would go out, we had big budgets, we would just do stupid things. And it was great, it was a lot of fun. So I needed a catalyst. And what do I mean by a catalyst? Well, Stephen talked about movies before, and I love movies as well. And so some of the famous catalysts that I can think of is when Neo takes the red pill and leaves the Matrix, right? When Dr. Evil does something bad and James Bond stops sipping on a martini and runs after him. When Luke Skywalker is parading around the universe with his Wookiee friend and his dad says, enough, I'm coming after you, right? For me, it wasn't that exciting. My catalyst was, unfortunately, I was the viral video maker at a PR firm. And being a viral video maker at a PR firm is just like saying that Alex Rodriguez is a home run hitter. Because I love the Yankees, by the way, but you can't guarantee results. You can't guarantee results. I was a video maker. I wasn't a viral video maker. So long story short, I wasn't the viral video maker anymore. That was my catalyst. It was time to say goodbye to that great job. So entrepreneurship, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this company happen. I'm going to make clickable TV. So in my bio, I did go to business school, and I took 3 classes on entrepreneurship. So I went back and I dug through those books. Okay, how do we start a company? All these books said, well, now that you're at $1 million of free cash flow, this is how you make $5 million. It's like, okay, There's really nothing in there that told you how to get started, and it was extremely frustrating. So I took a page out of a filmmaker's book. Anybody know Robert Rodriguez? He made Desperado and a couple other crazy movies. Well, he made a film called El Mariachi, okay? And the way that he made this film wasn't writing a script and then shooting it, he looked around and he said, okay, well, I have a bulldog. I have a mariachi band, of course. I have a hotel that I have access to. I have a swimming pool, and I have all this other stuff. Why don't we figure out a story that we can make with this stuff? And so I looked around, and I said, well, I have a computer. I have a book, dusted it off, learned Flash in 24 hours. And there was a tea shop around the corner that I was friendly with, and they had free Wi-Fi. So what did I do? Well, I walked into the tea shop, and I said to the guy, Tim, I said, Tim, I'm going to be here for a while, so can you save this seat for me? And so the really cool thing about having a computer and free Wi-Fi is that now we had an office. So is anybody familiar with Moore's Law? And this is getting a little bit techie, but Moore's Law basically states that computing power doubles every X number of years, 18 months or so. And so believe it or not, this iPhone is equivalent to 30,000 Commodore 64s. People remember the Commodore 64, right, where my head would be a brick? Well, there's no more brick heads anymore because 30,000 Commodore 64s in this phone. That's amazing. So all I had to do now was carry my laptop, which is probably 65,000 Commodore 64s, right? And I bring it to this tea shop. And then, okay, well, how do we get on the internet? Okay, well, back in the day, about 10 years ago, we would need a server, we would need some air conditioning, we would need a colo space, we need some systems administrator guy. I don't even know what half these people do. That's probably another $500,000 a year. But there's something called Amazon Web Services. Wow, I just hooked that up. It's 10 cents a day. This is amazing. So I bought a keg of tea. It was 30 bucks for some of my guys. Amazon Web Services costs 10 cents a day. Compare that to 10 years ago where I would have had to spend $1,500 a day to even just get to the same place. And I haven't even done anything yet. So I'm at $30.10 versus $1,500. Pretty good, pretty good. But what are we building? Okay, well, I had this book, Learn Flash in 24 hours. Okay, well, I guess I'll read it, read this book. I do have to say that that book was great, although the 24 hours thing is a little bit ambitious. It took about 3 weeks to learn, but the really cool thing is today we're in this world of open source. Okay? Everybody knows what open source is. Everybody's heard the story of Linux and how Linus Torvalds, I can never get his name right, but he just started building on top of Unix, and now he has Linux, and all these people forked off of Linux, etc. And the great thing about open source is that they have a mantra called DRY, staying dry. And DRY stands for don't repeat yourself, meaning that someone somewhere has done it already. So in a way, we were building on the shoulders of giants, where if I needed a module to do something, I could probably use Google, and I could probably find it. And all I had to do was really put the pieces together. I was like a movie producer. I just had to put the pieces together. And the really cool thing about this, have you guys heard of a company called GroupMe? They sold to Skype last year for $70 million. They were a hackathon project. They were grouping, texting on top of an API that connects the web to your phone. 70 million bucks for putting something together. So we put something together using Cake PHP and ActionScript, and we came up with our product. And our product was pretty interesting. It gave you the ability to have users create little tags inside videos that you could click on. So if I wanted to know who I was, I could draw a little box around me, and I could click on me, and I could link that to, let's say, my Twitter page. That was pretty cool. So another quote from a movie, if you build it, they will come. Well, I can tell you what, I built it, and they didn't come. So I waited, and nobody came. Well, here's the other good thing. What do you do? 10 years ago, what would you have done? Well, you probably could have bought a billboard on I-95. Probably could have taken a full-page ad out in the New York Times. Probably got a 30-second spot on the Super Bowl. And that would have cost you a lot of money. But what do we have today? We have social media. And it's incredibly powerful. Incredibly powerful. And the cost? Nothing. So we built Facebook presences. We built Twitter presences. We went to meetups. We had a Tumblr, and so on and so forth. And so in August of 2010, we demoed at the New York Tech Meetup. And at the time, we had a very interesting client, so to say. It was a film called Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day. Does anybody remember that film? Probably not. Oh, a couple people. Great. Well, so the film starred Frances McDormand and Amy Adams. So right off the bat, you can see that this film skews probably 30, 40 female. But for fun, I sent it out to a bunch of 20-year-old frat guys. Hey guys, check out this video. You can click on any of the actors, any of the objects. But if you find the secret object, you can win free movie tickets. And about 4 hours later, I got a bunch of responses saying, hey man, I've been watching this trailer 3 or 4 times, and I can't find the movie tickets. But what happens to Miss Pettigrew? Eureka! We got frat guys to care about what happens in this film. It was totally amazing. And so from that, we ended up using Twitter, Facebook, and our meetup to land clients at the Rachel Ray Show, Jay-Z's Rockaware, In the Heights the musical, and so on. And that was pretty cool. And so I guess one of the things that was really interesting to us was that everything happened at our fingertips. We built all of this by just pressing a few buttons. And so today, you have even more options. Even more options, right? So physical location, we were at a tea shop. We hooked into the cloud. But today, there's co-working spaces, there's incubators, there's accelerators. You know, there's other cloud services out there. There's a cloud service called Heroku that puts a cloud on top of a cloud. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff out there. And so that's options for physical infrastructure. For open source APIs, it's just like what we saw before, little bits, right? You could think of it as, tell me what the inputs are, and I'll tell you what the outputs are. You don't need to know what's going on. We had some guy build a video player from us that we didn't even know from Finland, right? And everything is on GitHub and all these repositories. It's all publicly out there. All you have to do is put the pieces together. Social media. There's now Pinterest. If you don't like writing, just put a picture up, and it'll get repinned 1,000,000 times. It's really cool. So, okay, I do make it sound very easy, and it's not that easy. But the risk is definitely worth it, because now the costs, it's about 1/100th of what it costs today to start a company. 1/100th. Believe it or not. There's no more servers. You don't need armies of programmers. You don't need a huge marketing budget. You can do it all for very, 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 very little. Okay, so nobody's jumping up right now and saying, I'm going to start a company. But you all came here today for a reason. And I might not be the governor of California coming back from the future saying you are going to change the world in the future as the president of the free world, but you needed a catalyst. Hopefully today was your catalyst to do something new and exciting and interesting. And the financial risk is that much smaller. So as an epilogue, though, to Clickable TV, we did end up getting some offers to do something with it, to sell the technology. As for me, as Simone said, I've moved on to a gift-finding app, which we'll save for another day. But the whole reason why, and I'm coming back to kind of the beginning, is I really wanted to know what Napoleon Dynamite was wearing that day, because that was why we kind of started that company. And so I'm proud to say, and here it is, this is the shirt that was in Napoleon Dynamite. How great is that? There was a user told us what this shirt was. And that's the power of the internet, is that if you don't have that piece of information, somebody else does. So I hope I inspired you today to do something and to really go for it. And remember, worst case scenario, you still got the shirt on your back. Thank you so much.